bullshit. I'm sorry. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You could have easily stayed Ethan if you wanted to. Don't try and sell me on the idea that if I'm depressed, the only way out of it is to cut off my shit. Are you suffering from depression? Consider cutting off your dick. Did ya? Just now? Just right now? Did it just randomly click in your head? It's almost like you go to sleep one night as a guy and then you wake up the next morning and you're like, you know what? I'm a girl.
E.G. lately standing for what's right.
Let's go take a look at what's going on with Ethan is online, because this is actually a very interesting thing. He came out as trans. Eden. Okay, so that's the new name. So this is Ethan is online coming out as trans. Most people could tell by the way that he was slowly becoming a she. Well, let's find out how real this is. Some people have been saying that this is just a clout grab because Ethan online is known for being super hardcore, far lefty. It would only make sense for him to eventually be like, you know what? I'm a girl. So I'm not shocked.
Hi, everyone. I know this might be a little bit of a weird video. It's weird for me, too. So sorry, I guess. I want to say like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I realized I was transgender.
Did you, though? Did you? Just now? Just right now? Did it just randomly click in your head? See, this is the scary thing, right? Not to get like super political here, but I'm getting super political here, okay? It's almost like you go to sleep one night as a guy and then you wake up the next morning and you're like, you know what? I'm a girl. But you know what? The one thing that Ethan Online has that a lot of people probably don't know about him, if you don't know about Ethan Online, super hardcore defender of transgender people. And unfortunately, I think that that plays a role in a lot of times when these people decide to do this. I have to be honest. I know that transgendered people have existed for a long time. They've been in movies and stuff forever. They've been portrayed in Dallas Buyers Club, and that was like taking place in the 70s. So it's been a thing that happens. Now, I don't know if this is only happening because of the cultural shift that has taken place, because I've never seen this many people come out as transgendered in the history of our world. Maybe I'm missing something. He just stood up to pee and it ran down his... Oh my God. That's funny. I think this is funny. I'm not shocked. A lot of people saw this coming because of the way he started doing, or just to be fair, the way she started doing her hair. Again, I don't mind using your pronouns that you want to use. If that's what makes you happy, YOLO, okay? Eden is a grown adult and can do whatever she wants with her life. If it makes her happy, I really don't care. Good for her. You know what I'm saying? But here's the scary part. Anybody who's been a fan of Ethan's Online and now is a fan of Eden Riley, they can sell the idea that him changing to a her is what made them happy. When in reality, a lot of times there's just as many stories of people who transition who realize it was a huge mistake and then they can't go back. First transgender surgery was in 1930. Wow. Okay, so they've been around for quite some time then. But I do feel like it's like an epidemic almost at this point of people transitioning. Janie says, for the most part, for most people, it can be denial or fear of not being accepted. Coming to terms with losing an entire family is an enormous burden. Yeah, I would agree. Call everyone that to be safe. Yes. All right. So that on screen. I don't know if they're going to like that, E-Shift. I don't know if they're going to like being called that. And I don't think I can refer to it as it either. For me, I like being a guy. I was born a guy. God clearly wanted me to be a guy. Most of my ideals fall on the right. Okay, let's be realistic about that. I tend to lean more right than I do left. But I also don't care how somebody wants to live their life. It's your right to live your life however you want. You get one of them and you want to make it the way you want. And I don't care, because I would never want someone coming in and telling me how to live. But to deny the idea that there could be possible mental issues at play here would be ignorant at best. Yes, ma'am. DC is the spring back effect and was bound to happen. Especially as vocal as Ethan was in defending transgender people, I felt like it was only a matter of time until he was like, you know what? I'm just going to really commit to this whole leftist shtick and go full on trans. Let's see what Eden has to say.
I am a trans woman. In the words of Roseanne Barr, a woman is me.
That one they're asking all the time, what is a woman? I'll tell you what a woman is. A woman is me.
I don't think that works. I don't think it works the same, Eden. Roseanne Barr was born with a vagina, born with ovaries, born with a uterus. I don't believe you're born with those things. Again, I understand that this is how Ethan is online, wants to live from now on as Eden. I don't care about that. But we can't act like you are truly a woman. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. I might piss some people off, but you still probably got a pecker downstairs. I'm just saying, last time I checked, my daughter didn't have that. At least when I was wiping her diapers when she was born. Again, live the lifestyle you want, but don't try to convince us all that you are a genuine female, okay? Because if I were to go on a date with you and then we got romantic and came back to the bedroom and I found Captain Winky downstairs, guess what? That's going to be a bit of a problem. I'm going to be very clear with you that. Why? Because I like women. I like real women. You know, women who are born women have all the parts of a woman. That's not something I need to be in denial about. That's just the facts of the matter. And, you know, we're getting into some spicy territory here. But again, I don't care if they want to be known as her or she. I will call you Eden if that's what you want to be called. Ethan Online has never done anything to me. I'm sorry, Eden Riley has never done anything to me. You know, at this point, Ethan is Online was becoming quite the locale. So I'm not shocked to see this change. Almost like she was looking for a protection from everybody else, you know? Massive Toothpick says, the funniest thing is that true, fully gay people don't really like this movement. I've been and am friends with a gay male, and they will let you know what they think about those movements. Yes, Serenia, who usually when I say her name will comment in the chat. She's a transgendered person who was in my Discord for a while, and she hates it. She thinks that a lot of these people are just straight up scam artists, con men. Janie Minaj says bottom surgery can be extremely painful and not worth it in the long run. Yeah, and that's what I'm afraid of. A lot of these people make these decisions. Do you know what happens when you cut off Captain Winky? For a guy, though, I think that the surgery is different. If you go from being a male to being a female, they still keep the part that works. But if you're a girl and you want to transition to a male, you get a fake appendage. It works, but you can't feel anything. So you will never get that arousal feeling again. That is a hardcore commitment to changing who you are.
Does anyone remember that? Am I the only one? I don't really talk about myself that much in my content. And if anything, it's because I struggled so long to even understand who I was. And I never want to come across as disingenuous. But
I'm sorry, but I call bullshit. I feel like Eden was Ethan is Online. I think that he was the center of all the attention. Everybody would always talk about him. So again, I haven't watched a lot of Ethan is Online. This is my first time getting any exposure to this, but starting off 2025 with a huge story like this, it's like I'm coming out in 2025 as a woman. I'm coming out. Oh, I want the world to know. I got to let it show. Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, coming out. Oh, I was Ethan's Online. Now I am Eden Riley. Now, is he gay though now? Does that make him gay? I don't know. So many questions. So many questions.
what do you do when you feel disingenuous?
That's what I heard too,
in the
Sarah.
skin that you're born in? It took me a really long time to even understand how to be honest with myself about this. But I want what I make to always be honest and genuine. And I'm Eden. I'm 25 years old, and before probably 2 years ago, I would have never even...
Non-binary, I could buy. I could buy non-binary from Eden Riley, but I don't know if I believe this. I feel like this guy has been fighting for this cause for so long that he's got it in his head. All these success stories of people saying that they're so much happier now that they came out. But for her sake, I hope it does make her happier. I really do. Because everybody deserves to be happy in their lives. I understand it. I know this is the internet and I'm supposed to sit here and bully this person and make fun of them. But if it genuinely makes Eden happy to continue living this way, good for her. However, that also doesn't mean that you are the same as my daughter. You're not gonna have the same life experience as my daughter growing up as a girl. I'm sorry, it's just not the realistic take on that situation. My daughter is growing up as an actual female. My fiance grew up as an actual female. You are now changing at 25, and I'll be interested to see if Eden stays this route or if they go back. So I feel like I could buy this from Ethan's Online, just being non-binary. But she's fully committing to the I'm a trans woman thing. And yes, Eden Riley does not look exceptionally happy right now. If you are a girl one day and a boy the next, then we are talking personality traits. One day you want to act feminine and the next masculine. Exactly. It seems like this happened so fast. Now, everybody kind of had an inkling this was coming because Ethan is Online was getting very more feminine in appearance So I guess a lot of us kind of felt like this was probably going to happen sooner or later, but it seems like it's almost like they're flexing on you at this point. They're like, look at me, I'm so great, I'm transgender.
Imagined that I was trans or genderqueer or anything other than cis. I wasn't raised around gender stuff. I had to learn about all that stuff in school and from
Indoctrination, great. They're taking LARPing to a whole new level. It feels that way. It definitely feels that way. I know a lot of people who just cross-dress. By the way, going back to what someone said about the gay person who doesn't really like this movement, one of the people I listen to a lot is Dave Rubin, who is a gay man, a gay conservative man. So I don't really mind too much conservative takes on that. I don't care if you're gay or not. That doesn't bother me at all. I think that's great for you. If that's what you're attracted to, do you. My problem is, though, the influence that Eden Riley has on maybe susceptible people who are out there maybe flirting with this idea.
Family Guy. And as a teenager, I was even reactionary and transphobic because I was misled on what transgender even is. But I always knew that I wasn't comfortable in my own skin, never excited about the role that I was expected to fill as a man. And
is anybody 100% comfortable in their skin in the chat? Do you ever feel like you're out of place? I feel like we all feel like that. That doesn't mean go cut off your Epcots. You know what I'm saying? The ones over presenting themselves are the ones taking advantage of the movement, not in all scenarios, but may seem to apply to this subject. Yeah, Miss Toothpick, especially since Ethan's been such a champion for their cause. So the girl Lex Updog, who was a part of this whole super mega drama back in the day, feels like she was a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Whore? And kind of got used by a lot of guys. And eventually she just said, enough men. Now I'm into Ethan, but I don't want Ethan to be a man because I have bad experiences with men. So Ethan, why don't you become Eden?
never particularly happy with the person I saw myself growing up to be. Sometimes the things that you don't even choose about yourself are the hardest to see and even harder to come to terms with.
So Sarah, you say, I hate this woman role I was born into, but I'm not going to turn myself into a man. To be honest, being a guy isn't all it's cracked up to. I'm perfectly fine being a guy. I don't mind it. I like being able to pee standing up. Let's be realistic. But at the same time, if a war breaks out, I gotta go fight it. If an intruder comes into my house, guess what? I'm the first person who has to defend. So I'm usually the one who has to put my life on the line first. Not saying that women don't do that in situations. I'm sure plenty do. And there's tons of stories of brave women like surviving situations like that. But as a man, that's your role, right? You are the protector of the household. So that's what you're expected to do. If I cry, sometimes I get looked at as weak. If I fail, I'm looked at as a failure. There's a lot of expectations that you're supposed to live up to as a man. Now, I've always imagined Ethan as kind of a feminine man, but I never thought it would get this far.
I am is not a choice. The choice that I am making is to embrace who I am, unapologetically and genuinely. And
Bullshit! I'm sorry. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You could have easily stayed Ethan if you wanted to. I'm sorry, but it is. It's total bullshit. You could have stayed Ethan, but I think that you got sick and tired of being treated like a locale by everybody in the commentary community, and you decided, you know what? I need a change. And guess what? If I become a protected class, nobody can make fun of me, because you know what? If I do, I'm just going to call them transphobic, and that's it. That's all. That's all she wrote. I would love to hear Tipster's opinion on this, to be honest with you. I'm sure he's going to be super supportive, but I need like a yin to the yang, you know?
And since making that decision, I've been happier than I've been in a long time. The disconnect from who I felt like and who I saw in pictures or even my own videos was overwhelming and caused a lot of depression. Passive and recurring thought patterns limited the scope on who I thought I could be, based on arbitrary things that didn't really matter.
Who the fuck talks like this? I'm sorry to curse, but who talks like this? It's like word salad. Word salad, guys. I learned that from Mocal because that's what they said I did, word salad.
But of course, it wasn't as clear as that when I was feeling it. It felt more like a big internal ball of self-resentment and anger. Sometimes for just not being something else. For not being happy. I struggled with denial for a long time.
The whole world is so culturally messed up. I don't think anyone knows how to be. There's no proper definitions. I'm old. I'm a protected class. Yes, you are, Gypsy. We protect you, girl. But no, you're right, E-Shift. I think that there's so much confusion out there right now. There's so much confusion out there for a lot of people. But guess what? One thing we know for sure, the guy's got a pecker and a girl's got a clam. I guess is the easiest way to lay that out. So I think someone wrote this for him. Well, this girl now has been known to be like a writer, so I wouldn't be shocked if they wrote it themselves.
I'm not embarrassed or ashamed of that. Even if I've been scared to admit it to myself in the past, I'll never be scared of being who I am again. And I'll never hold myself back like that again. For a long time, I felt that a part of me was truly missing. And I couldn't be more grateful that I did not let my cynicism prevent me from being happy, from being fulfilled, and from being true to myself. I use she and they pronouns now, and I'm going to be changing the names of my channels to match the name change.
Well, luckily for him, his whole fan base has been indoctrinated into the left.
I want to thank everyone who's supported me and my content the last few years, whether you've seen one video or all of them.
You're right, Gypsy. Gypsy says, I hate to say it, but being trans seems pretty trendy right now. It is. That's exactly what it is. Barefoot Moscato. Yo, I literally have that, KDA. That's what I was drinking right here, but I have work tomorrow, so I'm only having one. But yeah, Barefoot Moscato and the Barefoot Pink Moscato are my two favorite wines. Shit, maybe I'm a woman. Maybe this whole time I've just been, how do you say it? Just hiding my inner feminine. And you want to know how I know? It's because I like wine. And, you know, sometimes just loving wine is just so great. And just getting together with the girls, kicking back, having some wine, talking gossip about that bitch, Becky. It's just so amazing to me. No, I'm a man. I'm a masculine man, and I like wine. I said it. It only seems trendy in real life because people are finally feeling okay enough to come out publicly. Well, yeah, it is trendy though, Janie. It's their lives. They can do whatever the hell they want. But it does seem like record number of people are coming out as trans. And if you don't think that there's at least a small percentage in there that are doing it for the wrong reasons, you're crazy.
Genuinely means the world to me that I have the platform that I do, that I have the opportunity to make videos that I love for people who enjoy them. If you're out there watching, feeling just as lost as I used to, just know that it can get better. And that
Nope. I hate this. I fucking hate this. See, I don't mean the curse, but I'm getting upset because she's basically telling you that if you transition, you'll get happier. And that is such a lie. That is such a lie. Maybe I pause and maybe she's going to follow it up with, but that doesn't mean you have to transition to be happy. And I hope that she says that next. But right now, this is looking like a big advertisement for why you should transition. Am I wrong? Does this not feel like a big sell for transitioning and how if you transition into a different sex, you're going to be happier all of a sudden?
it's never, ever too late to truly be who you are. And there's
oh my God, nope.
No need to apologize for being that person. This isn't about anything other than my happiness, which is kind of why it's hard to make a video about for me. It feels selfish. I guess it's informative, and I'm proud to be someone that I actually...
Nope, I was hoping to God she followed it up with, that doesn't mean you have to transition to be happy, but she didn't. She's selling you. This is an advertisement for becoming trans. I hope that everybody sees that. I hope that everybody realizes that this is nothing more than an advertisement to become a trans person, because you'll be happier. Are you suffering from depression? Consider cutting off your dick. Have you ever considered just cutting off your dick and getting some boobs put in? Now, I know I'm being a bit vulgar, but sometimes you just have to say it the way it is for it to make sense to people. And that's exactly what's happening here. It's almost like Eden is selling me a car, right? Oh, you know what? You would look so great in that Corvette. Imagine the looks you'd get in that Corvette, except it's not that. It's transitioning. Imagine how great you'd look in that dress, Steve. Steve, you know how great you would look in some feminine products? Yes, Blue Jay, I am not denying boobs are probably my favorite part of a girl. I'm just going to be honest with it. Blue Jay's absolutely right. Boobs are nice. When they're on a girl, though. Man boobs, not so much. Not so much. I like my boobs without chest hair. Please. Thank you.
Actually feel like for the first time in my life. I'm grateful that I can share this fact about me with you all. It's a weird, exciting,
for the go ahead to,
very long journey. Coming out feels like a weight off of my heart, and I genuinely can't put it any less fruity than that. But it feels really good to be able to breathe in my own skin.
Are you sure though? Are you in your own skin, or are you presenting an ideal that you think other people need to hear? Because you want other people to be like you, because you want to bring people into your circle so that you have more people like you around. Who wants to not be in a group around people who are like themselves?
Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to be doing a charity live stream for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund on December 31st. That's New Year's Eve. It's going to be
Okay, that should tell you everything you need to know right there. Palestine Relief Fund. I've come out as transgender. This person has literally checked off every single far left box you could possibly imagine. Every single far left. It's the equivalent of like a fascist, like an actual fascist on the right. That's what Eden Riley is being right now. And I'm not by any means transphobic. There are so many conservative trans people like Blair White that I absolutely adore. I think they're great. I think that Blair probably was born in the wrong body just from the way that she carries herself. I don't know if I feel the same way about Eden Riley, you know? Maybe he just wants more clout. It could be E-Shift, but Ethan is online was getting a lot of heat from a lot of people in the commentary. She couldn't go live without people making fun of them in the chat. And then it would be covered on every single commentary channel about how silly they are. I think Blair White is a perfect example of somebody who actually is transgendered. And I want to show you her just so you guys can see what I think a true transgendered person looks like. But at the same time, you can't just make everyone assume that they feel the same way you do about everything you feel. Now, if again, like I said, if you're happy, then good for you. If you're happy, good for you. And I hope in some way, Eden, this makes you happy. I really do, because everybody deserves happiness. But don't try and sell me on the idea that if I'm depressed, the only way out of it is to cut off my shit. Let's be real about that.
a 24-hour marathon stream raising as much money as possible. It's for a great cause. It's going to be a great stream. The link's in the description to the charity. Tune in on the 31st to help do some fundraising, do some good. Thank you again so much for watching.
Okay, so that's the story of Ethan. Ethan is now Eden, and Eden claims to be just as much as a female as my daughter and my fiance, which I don't fully believe, because I'm pretty sure if you put their bodies next to each other, they're not going to look anything alike. And as a lot of people say, when Eden dies and people in 1,000 years dig up her bones, they're going to not call her Eden. They're going to say this was a male, you know, because that's just a bone structure and stuff. And the fact they use Roseanne Barr as the punching bag, I think that's just her ruffling feathers.
E.G. lately